Should we ask?
No, just fast.
Any questions? Okay, shall we start? Okay, let's try. Let's try. Number one. Just try to get you to go back to it a little bit so that hopefully after today you get something. What did number one? Do you remember anything? Okay, which one agree that we have achieved economic globalization, so you say OMIA. So agree, the list of agree, OMIA. McLuhan, Castell, good. OMIA, McLuhan, Castell. Do you remember these people? OMIA, yeah, Waterless World, McLuhan, the Global Village, Castell, the economy in real time. Very good. Disagree. Disagree. Good. Pershing Thompson. Globalization in question. What did he say?
It's a
Regional integration. Colin Hay. Yeah? Okay, add Colin Hay there. Yeah? I can upload this. You don't have to write, but if you don't have to write down, fine. So you have OMIA, Castell. You have, he say McLuhan. Yeah, McLuhan can be put there. But McLuhan, a lot of people, when people think of McLuhan, they tend to think of culture more than economy. Yes, Claire definitely is one. Giddens, not really about economy, but Giddens can be one, could be one. Now, the real one, the good ones, will be OMIA, Castell, and Claire, and also Wallerstein. Yeah, Giddens, Fukuyama, a little bit too much culture. Disagree with the Pershing Thompson and Colin Hay. Number two. Oops. Number two. China and India. The rise of China and India. What would it do to globalization? Any ideas? Okay. Can you help? What do you think?
because labor costs.
So will it encourage or discourage globalization? Now he was saying that, hey, China rise, India rise, now we don't have cheap labor anymore. So the TNC will be affected. So what do you think? Will it make globalization strengthen or weaken? Why?
Well, it's more expensive working than base in East.
So what do? Do they go back to the home base? Yeah, if they say, if the company like GM, for example, instead of have their plant in China, and then they have to move elsewhere, they move out of China into Myanmar. That kind of action Will it help or it will hinder globalization? It will help because then Myanmar will be connected. Now, in fact, then you will have China and Myanmar also connected, you know. When these transnational, they move around, they would actually bring culture and bring the way of life and help to connect these countries even more. What do you say? No? Okay, what do you think? So he say it will help globalization because countries will move around even more. What do you say? Power will be divided, so now China will become powerful. Is that what you say? So will it help or hurt? How will it help or hurt? Here we are talking about economic power, right? She was saying that China will become economic power. It will help globalization in this sense. More trading, so you see China TMC start to go outside China. Yeah? You think so? Yeah? Any more? Think about it. Now China and India are very important. And in your exam, we're going to write about China and India. So you think it's going to be like more powerful? They will, you see more of the connection among countries. More spread of culture, but this one we are looking at economic globalization first. Yeah. What you say?
Rising of foreign workers.
Rising of foreign worker meaning Chinese worker will come out or people will go in or
If China and India really develop, people wouldn't mind going to China and India to work because of higher pay, and then they are more willing to accept Chinese workers, won't outcast them.
Okay, very good. So she's talking about migration into China and India. Would there be migration out of China and India? Yeah, and we see a lot now. You know, we see Singapore, a lot of like professionals coming to Singapore. All these all be the answer, you know. I didn't think about it. She thought about it. Very good. Yeah? This is my idea, but their idea is just as good. You know, about migration. No, but when I was thinking about it, I was thinking about Asian bloc that has not happened yet, but there may be potential for it to happen. Increase supply and demand for food, service, and culture. Yeah, culture not yet now, because culture is not the economy. Yeah? That leads to more global exchanges. There'll be inflow and outflow out of China. Last time China and India were more like closed to the outside world, and now they're more open. The opening up of China and India, especially China, will encourage globalization. Yeah, until the time when regional bloc is created, we don't know when there would be potential of regional bloc. What about ASEAN? What about ASEAN? Stronger trade. There'll be stronger trade within ASEAN or outside ASEAN?
Within and outside.
So will it help or hurt? Yeah, so there will be, yeah? Will it help or hurt? Sorry? Will it help or hurt globalization? Okay. Any idea about ASEAN? Probably more concentrated. So it will be about the same, right? If China rise, India rise. If ASEAN rise, there could be potential of these two effects as well. There could be something called regionalization, which will hurt globalization. Or it could be more supply and demand flowing in and out, you know, between ASEAN region and also outside. The strengthening of ASEAN meaning that countries in Asia will grow, Southeast Asia will grow. Yeah? It will grow, there are more people moving in. Yeah, you also grow educated people to move out and supply all these educated people to other countries. So you see, just like China and India, yeah, there is threat in terms of regional bloc. There's also, it may also help in the supply and demand, in goods and services, and culture. Number 4 asks which one? Number 4 asks which countries are not included in globalization, and that some theorists say, see, there are many countries in the world that is still outside global society. What are these?
North Korea.
For example. Third world country is not a good answer because the periphery is always connected to the core. Yeah, the third world countries are always the place where the core country, now that capitalism really spread and they make use of poor countries very well. They went around exploiting poor countries. North Korea, what else? Why Zimbabwe? Country is very small, not really true. Zimbabwe is very connected. I don't know what corporation or entities are in Zimbabwe. What we can imagine, if you have poor country, that is it. You know, if you are like big capitalists, right, you are looking for poor. The poorer, the better, because they'll be cheaper. Yeah? Okay, so you have places like North Korea, you have Iran, you have Cuba. These are excluded because they are mostly, Iran is not communist, but they are another type that is not being included. Oh no, Iran not really. Iran now sanction has lifted already, right? Sanction was lifted, so they are coming back in, but not totally yet. Yeah, there's a restriction and all that. The sanction was lifted in November, isn't it, last year? Yeah, because Iran said, no, we are not building nuclear to bomb you, but we are making nuclear for peaceful reasons, for energy and stuff like that. Last one, number 5. What is my number 5 question then? What's number 5 question? Okay, do you see in the future, are you like the skeptic or are you like the hyper-pluralist? The skeptic will be saying, no, we may not see it. You know, it may not be unavoidable. The hyper-pluralist say, it is there, you know, and you can't help it. What do you think? Do you think the world is moving towards more or less integration?
Yeah. More government.
Why? You see, he said he thinks that the world will be, the globalization will be reversing because there will be more and more government intervention. Why should government intervene? Or you don't agree? You agree with me?
I think because countries, like certain countries, they might not want to be so globalized. I mean, going back to generalization for economic purposes, like for example, Singapore and US think too much, and then if US economic drop will affect other countries. A country like Singapore, so the economy will be badly affected.
Oh, so she said, in opening up the country, sometimes other countries affect your country too much. So countries may decide to close up. Okay. Do you agree with her? Or you have something else to say? She said that countries probably in the future will prefer to close the country. What do you think? Will country close up?
They won't close up because it's been proven that no country can be very independent, very economically independent on their own. So if they continue closing up and operating themselves, then they'll be the one lagging behind.
Example?
Like those countries stated now, those North Korea, Cuban, they're still not open up. So we can see their culture and their economy is still not as advanced or rather vibrant as the other countries.
Very good. See, he disagree with you. Yeah? And when we put example is China. Yeah? You think of China when the country was closed, right? Really, economy was really very bad. You think of Iran. Why Iran give in to international call, for the inspector to go in and inspect their nuclear capability? Because they don't want to be isolated. So, I don't think countries will start closing up. They need help from other countries. They need to reconnect actually to prosper. But I believe, I don't know whether it's going to happen, but I think the idea of regional bloc, is probably something to look out for. Regional bloc will probably be something in the future, will be the norm in the future. And globalization will be reversing. These in red are just some speculation. Yeah? And you can think of, other ways, other reasons. This one just get you to think a little bit more about economic globalization. Yeah, if you don't have any further questions, I think let's have a 15 minutes break. Can you come back at 1:45?